I'm in love with you, I just can't commit myself. I'm in love.
Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
Boris Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
Boris Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
All right. Sorry to have tortured you with the loop, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody is doing well. We got a great show for you today. Say hello to me in chat. Let me know if you guys seeing the screen okay, if you're seeing me okay, if everything is good. Let me put up a little bit of stuff up here. Put our logo up here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Somebody give me a sound check. Let me know if you guys hear me okay, if everything is good. Let me see myself. Here I am. Okay. Where's everybody? Okay. Do you guys hear me okay? I see myself. Yes, no? Give me some love in chat. Tell me that you guys hearing me. Tell me that you guys seeing me okay. Andy, all right. Thank you so much. All is good. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. We've got a great show. I've been scalping away. Very good. FC, Nano, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you. Thank you for the love. We're going to let everybody crawl into the room. I just opened up the room a little early because I wanted to Oh, hello from Brazil. Where in Brazil, my friend? Where are you in Brazil? Are you in Sao Paulo or somewhere in the Amazon? I'm not trading rhythmic, Karen, so I don't know. Let's ask anybody. Hold on a second. Anybody having problems with the rhythmic? I'm not having any problems. Carayaro. Okay, that sounds very, very far away, overland. Hopefully the internet is good for you. We're gonna have a lot of fun scalping today. So, north of Brazil. All right, sounds cool. Sounds really, really cool. Okay, my friend. Hope the internet is good over there. Anybody else having problems with Apex Rhythmic? I'm not, but I'm trading Trade of 8. I generally try not to trade Rhythmic. Let me know if you guys have any problems. Okay, let's start with the first question of the day. Do you know what scalping is? I'm actually curious because I've been focusing on this particular art of trading, and I realize that a lot of you may not actually know what this is. So give me some answers here. Let's see how much of the group really understands and knows what this is all about. Give me some chances. Also, who's new to the group? Say hi to me. Who's like never? Is this the first time that you've been trading with me ever? I'm really, really curious. This is a quiet week. We have, basically today, tomorrow. That's it. After that, U.S. is on holiday, so markets will be up on Friday, but we're not going to trade. Thursday is obviously a holiday, so it should be relatively quiet. But there's been actually really a lot of great opportunities, and there's tremendous amount of opportunities yesterday. Whether you love Trump or don't love Trump, he's a gift from heaven for us on the scalping side. He was just yesterday. Asia session was a massive, massive volatility trade. It was great. I made a ton of money trading it up and down. And I'm going to talk about like my scalp ideas and also my reversal ideas, the ideas that some of you may want to trade for much bigger, longer points, because some of you really, really like that. And also we'll talk a little bit, obviously, about some of the trend structures. All of this totally possible off my BFF scalper indicator, which is available to everybody. This is, by the way, good. Tell me, is this like the right resolution for everybody to see the screen well? Tell me you guys are seeing everything on the screen. Yes, no. Let me know if that's looking good to you. Now I lost my train of thought. I want to show you. Oh, I know what I want to do. I wanted to add. Yeah, we'll put the Apex code on there. Be sure to sign up with my friends at Apex because they have massive discounts. They're going to have a couple of really cool new products coming out too, which I can't talk about right now, but trust me, they're going to be really, really cool. Awesome. So res is clear, right? You guys see the size really, really clear. Okay. All right. Super. All right. Let's review a little bit about what my BFF scalping indicator does and how we use it every single day. If you want access to this thing, you simply need to just join us either on a monthly basis, or you could actually sign up with my friends at ACAP. Just deposit money with them, open up an account, and you're going to get this totally for free. So either way, it's a really, really good deal. Make sure you guys click those links, get a hold of it. You won't find this indicator anywhere on TradingView. It doesn't exist. It's hidden. It's only available to those people that I show it to. So this is my BFF scalper indicator. This is the 200 period SMA. This is the 8 period SMA. when blue is above red, we're in an uptrend. When blue is below red, we're in a downtrend. Within the uptrend and the downtrend, there are positive waves and negative waves. Obviously, when price is above 8, that's a positive wave, it's green. When price is below 8, it's a negative wave, it's red. And these are the great opportunities for us to extract profit over and over and over again. There's lots of different ways we can trade this. So let me just kind of stop right here and pause and see, is that clear to everybody? Give me a couple of yeses. Make sure you guys are understand the general structure of how we trade. Clear? Okay. So there are a couple of really interesting ways you can trade this. If you're a trend trader that trades momentum, that is, you want to go with the flow and you buy breakouts, then you're looking at the green labels in an uptrend, and you're looking at the red labels in a downtrend. John Stuck is saying we lose money because we fight against the trend. False, my friend. False, 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 false. You lose money because you don't know what you're doing. I'm going to show you how you can trade with trend. You can trade against trend. You can trade with trend against trend. You can trade against trend against trend. 4 different ways. Make money each one of those ways depending on your personality. So this is one of those myths that those of you guys who've been in the room with me see I debunk every single day because we make money, which is that you can't make money trading against trend. You can make tons of money trading against trend if you know what the hell you're doing and if you have an indicator like this to help you. And if you don't know what you're doing, then obviously, that's the easiest way to lose money. But it's also super easy to lose money with a trend too. Because almost, if it was so easy to make money with trend, everybody would be rich. But yet nobody can make money with trend either. So the point is, it's not whether you're trading with trend or against trend. It's how you're trading in each one of those situations. And this is what this thing helps you with. So let's talk about how this really, really helps you. First and foremost, if you want to trade trend, we're looking at the green labels. And what we're looking for, first and foremost, is the marker H. H tells us that the green breakout label is higher than the prior green breakout label. It's a higher high. Therefore, the probability that we have some continuity is pretty good. As you can see here, it doesn't always work. And, higher highs don't always guarantee continuation of trend. But, as Damon Runyon once said, the race doesn't always go to the swift or to the strongest, but that is the way to bet. So you can see, for example, where you go to 21H, that's a nice long trend here. You see that where you have a 19H, that kind of opens up a trend for you, so on and so forth. Kyle Ken says the retrace trades are sweet. They are indeed, my friend. They really are. They are totally sweet. So the pure trend trade is we got a green candle, has an H on it, and perhaps the single most important component is this table is telling us that the width between the 2 moving averages is 30 basis points or less. So right now, we're actually, have a very, very relatively narrow width of about 9 basis points. The whole idea is trend starts when moving averages start to separate. Once the short one is way above the long one, it's extended, it's overbought or oversold. That's when you want to be looking for reversal trades. But in this area over here, yes, absolutely, you want to be looking for trend trades. Now, there's 2 ways to look for trend trades. You can buy the breakouts, or you can buy the retraces. I happen to be a retrace trader. That means I want to be buying the breakdowns. I want to be buying the dips. So like, for example, right now, 918, we can start to buy this position over here. Let's do that. We're going to do this in very, very small fashion. Let me just go buy market. And why am I getting like a double? Do I have a double trader bait open? Hang on a second, guys. Just bear with me a sec. Oh, yeah, I do. I was like, do I have this? Because of course I do. Okay, hang on. All right, sorry. So I open up a tiny little position here because a huge part the way we trade is that we have all these signals, we have all these directions. That's just the beginning of our process. We always assume we have the possibility of being wrong, but we don't quit on us being wrong. We give ourselves 2, 3, 4 chances to repair the trade. Meaning, if I get stopped out over here, I'm still going to be entering long over here because we're still above trend at better prices. I'm going to try to resolve the trade here. I'm going to try to resolve the trade underneath here. So I'm going to give myself 3 or 4 opportunities to resolve the trade in order to succeed. And that is exactly how we succeed. The good part of this is that we have incredibly consistent high performance, right? I try to make between 500 and 1,000 a day doing this slowly. Now, by the way, I'm trading a $250,000 account, which is a really, really good value deal at Apex. Go ahead and check it out because the discounts are really huge, I think, right now. And with a $250,000 account, I have a massive $6,500 margin budget. And I'm using, $100 of it, $200 of it, like small amounts of money. That's how I approach it, right? One of the most important things that I've discovered myself is because I'm not a trader that will go for 10 contracts for 100 points, make $10,000 on that one trade and just, bank it out. There are traders that do that. They do that very well, but almost every single one of those traders, loses their funded accounts within a couple of weeks. One of the things that I cannot emphasize more to you is less than 5% of people pass any of the evaluations, right? It's less than the Ivy League entrance degree. Like, it's harder to get into Harvard. It's harder to pass an evaluation than to get into Harvard. About 70% of people who hang out with me pass the evaluations, but then it gets even much worse because once you pass the evaluation, only 1% of those ever get paid out. Whereas about 30% to 40% of guys who hang out with me get paid out. Now, the reason for that is really not anything that I'm doing. It's just a very, very simple fact that we follow small size rule for the most part, right? And every time we get hurt, it's because everybody oversizes, right? Like literally 99.9% of all sins in prop trading is because your size is too large. So the key here is not to make $1 million in a minute. The key here is to make 1 million minutes worth your time in trading, to flip it around. So very, very important. Okay, so we got tagged out. Let's get a little bit larger. I don't love this trade. I may actually just simply let it go because it's market open. It's probably going to fade out a little bit to the downside. I'm going to give it this one chance. If it kind of stops me out at the 200 SMA, and actually, you know what I'm going to do? One of the cool things about this trading. Oh, I want to show you something really, really cool. You see how I don't have a confirmation window in TradingView? Watch this. If you go into settings, this only took me about 10 million fucking hours to find out. You go into general, you go instant orders placement. You click this, say apply to all. You'll never ever have to see a confirmation window. You can literally move your stops and targets at will the whole time, which is very, very cool. Okay. So right now, I'm basically just playing for a scratch because, it's market open 10, 15 minutes before the market open. I generally don't trade that structure. I just wanted to kind of show you what would be the right trade if I had a normal, not pre-market time. And so, we're clearly correcting. We're probably going to correct over here to the bottom. And I'll be happy to buy it over here, but I'm not, I'm not going to die on this hill right now as my first trade of the day. It's one of the reasons why, when you're trading super small, you don't give a shit. If this doesn't work, when the trades really, really come, I'll be able to size up and trade a little bit larger and get whatever, a couple of ticks that I lost here back. But the whole point is you never start large. You never start large. Never. If you start large, you're going to finish small. If you start small, you're going to finish large. That's my statement for the day. So there's about 13% of you guys who don't know what scalping is. Scalping in modern current definition. Scalping in the old days used to be guys who would stand in the pit, and I actually used to do this when I was a Nasdaq market maker, and you would literally try to make the spread. You'd buy on the bid, sell on the offer. Now, that part of the trade still plays around when I'm trading futures. I'm always trying to buy on the bid, selling on the offer, but that's not what scalping is in modern day. It's basically short-term trading. And in our parlance, in the way we trade for 2 points S&P. Every time we try to resolve our trades, it's we buy the S&P for 68, sell it for 70, or sell it for 68, buy it for 66, somewhere around there. All right, we got tagged out. I think I'm gonna just let it go. I'm pretty sure I can resolve this thing, but I'm just really have zero patience right now trying to fight this thing. So I'll come back to the trade when the market opens up. It's, what is it, 9:24? Yeah, it's a little, we'll let it go, because my view is that the market is actually very heavy. I think it's going to be, you guys know that, you can almost laugh at me at how much of a bear I've been and how wrong I've been. But I do think that, there's a potential here for us to come back down. So I want to be looking more, to sell this market rather than buy this market. So I will organize myself accordingly. We're going to give ourselves 5-10 minutes to open up. But the point is, we make lots and lots of short-term trades. So just an example, a 2-point trade, S&P, one contract is $100, right? You do 10 of those, it's $1,000 a day. On Nasdaq, 10 points up, 10 points down is $200. On gold, we trade for $2 up, $2 down, which is $200. So combinations of those trades really kind of add up very quickly into contracts. How do I define small in terms of contract? I literally trade micro contracts. I'll start with the micro contract. These were all micro contracts that I just traded right now. You can see it was the MES, not the ES, that I traded, which is like, $20-$30, nothing. A lot of time, first of all, the rule of thumb is never make your first trade, always make your first trade a micro contract, whether you're confident or not, just because the first trade of the day really needs to, to give you some feel for the market. And then generally I just, right now, because market is open, I got nothing else to do. The market is pre-open. Sorry, I don't really have any legitimate trades to make. I will be traded micros as a stance. 18, 19. I'm going to put myself into Nasdaq. Nasdaq is doing the same thing. So everything is corrected a little bit to the downside. Now I'm going to show you today the absolute my absolute favorite money trade, the trade that really is super successful, and one that you guys can use for much longer, bigger reversal trades, assuming we get some movement in the market. Assuming we get some movement over here. I wonder why this. Oh, I think you know what it is. 0007. I think when I go to double screen, this thing gets all shut up. That's what it is. I just finally figured out why this the width number is gets compressed. I'm gonna have to make an adjustment for this thing. Yes, we always trade small first. Always. So watching gold here, nothing. Gold has actually got nothing going on it. I shorted a little bit of gold over here. That was a nice trade. Nasdaq is underneath. S&P is underneath. Moving averages. Nothing really going on over here. I think we're gonna crash. We're probably gonna go down to the 6,000 today. So I'm just gonna have to be a little bit patient here on these trades. What time is it? 28. We got about a minute before we start. Let's see how they want to trade. The first 5 minutes, let's see if they want to hold bid, bring it up trend, or start killing it and bring it downtrend, or do nothing. "30 seconds or 40 seconds to the open." So let's kill this poll. Everybody got the polls? All right. They're trying to bring it up. See, I could have bought this. I could have bought this, resolved it, but I did not want to. There are times you want to fight, and there are other times you just want to walk away. So this one, I just decided I'm going to walk away. We'll look for better trades. So we're rebuilding the uptrend, possibly. Possibly. A lot of volatility. Market open. Nasdaq is popping. S&P is popping. Let's see if they're going to just try to challenge the 625 level and rebuild it. Good morning. Good morning, Hawkeye. Good morning, everybody. Nas popping. We get up to 21,000. That'll be interesting. Let's see if Nasdaq wants to go 21,000. S&P goes 622. Okay. Uptrend so far reestablished. Let's see if they hold it for a while. Gold is down a lot. Gold is now all right, gold is actually negative trend. So now gold coming up above the moving average. Now, we have nice separation, 11 basis point separation. Gold coming up through the moving average is going to be my trade to sell. That's going to be my entry to sell. Because gold now is starting to really crash a little bit further. I want to see something. I'm curious. What's the highs for the S&P today? I think we might break the highs, right? This is the highs of the day. What is that? 12. Yeah. 25. We're breaking the highs of the day. That's good to know. So I'm watching the price if the price to come up above the moving average and short gold over here. I'm kind of watching the price come down below the moving average to see if I can buy the S&P here. Because I'm always I want to be buying dips, selling rips, and in this case, it's going to be within trend because we're very, very tight to the moving average. This trend is still very much there. Let's do a poll on whether you guys. I'm really curious about this. Tell me if you guys are a trend trader or a reversal trader. I'm really interested. I've been like dying trying to buy this on, right around here on the retraces, but it's not quite to the moving average. So I didn't want to stretch myself out. But sometimes, you don't get the chance to get the good dip. Now, one of the key things when you guys are looking at the labels is if you're above trend and this is a reversal label and it has an H behind it, that's a good probability that you want to be a buyer because that's a retrace high trade. If it's a L label, that could mean it's kind of reverting back to the moving average. In this case, the L label also worked, but the H really gives you a chance. All right, we're getting up to the gold is finally maybe giving me a chance here. Let's see. All right, I'm just gonna. I sold gold at 5. Here, let me show it to you. So it's 26.5. 24.5 is a target. We may get up to 28. I'll be happy to sell more up there. I have no problem getting larger over there. So the one danger of all of my strategies is that we get like a V-shaped recovery, right? So this would be like this is what you need to be always aware of. That's why you always want to be trading small, right? A V-shaped recovery would be something like this. It kind of verticalizes over here, and I'm short over here, but eventually even the V-shaped recovery breaks, and I will be able to collect all of it back here. That's the game plan of what I try to do. All right, now what? Let's just move this over here. See if I can pick up some of the move here. 8, 10. All right. We took 10 ticks. I could have taken 12 to 15 ticks, but it's good enough right now. I kind of want to just watch this trade a little bit here. But I do think because gold is really sold off a lot. If it comes back up, I'll short it higher. But you see how when you're shorting retraces, your entry is just so much better, and then you can resolve it so much faster and get it cleaner to the trade. All right. S&P is really congesting at this 25 level. I'm hoping it goes through it. On the other hand, NAS. Let's look at NAS. NAS is really getting close to that 21,000, right? That's what everybody's watching on NAS. Now, NAS, here's the setup. NAS gets up through 21,000, maybe 2120. It's going to be 30 basis points wide. At that point, we're going to start looking for failure labels. Failure labels would be an 8, like a 19L or 20L. Anything that's going to give me a lower low, that's going to give me the first sense of failure on the thing. What futures broker do I recommend, especially beginners coming from CFD to futures? Well, I recommend you don't even start with a futures broker. I recommend that you just open up an account with Apex, our prop firm, and learn how to trade futures in a prop environment, so that you don't have to risk your own money, and learn. It's a full futures platform, as you see. I'm using it, TradeAvate right here, trading fall futures in real time money. And if you get good, you're going to get paid out anyways. So my recommendation, as always, is if you're starting to learn how to use futures, this is a much better way of doing it. So here's a discount code to our friends at Apex. Somebody was asking me about the retrace trade. We can look at this. So we kind of died out at 21,000. I wanted to short the 21,000, not on any of my setups, but just because I knew this was going to be a good round number to kind of get short on. But let's watch this for a second here. Let's see how this is trading. And also, let's watch this. This is the S&P, right? Now we're coming down. Okay, I'm going to take a small bite here. S&P market over here. Just a small bite. See if I get a pop on this thing. And I got a pop for 6 points. So why I take a small bite here that is sort of my trade, but not quite my trade. This is the 200 period SMA. We were dumping right into the 200 period SMA. I'm happy to step into the into the fire for a quick pop back up. Is this going to reverse back up? I'm not sure. I don't know. The market is obviously kind of double topped around this. We're sort of waving. I told you that my view is that I think we're kind of getting a little tired here. So we might start to open up a downtrend. But in the meantime, even if we're going to go into a downtrend, there was going to be a bounce. And I just wanted to take that bounce. So that was a nice clean bounce, for that trade. Now coming back to gold. Remember I told you gold I thought was going to be a real downtrend. Yeah, why don't I stick with the retrace trade? Yeah, the retrace trade is the best trade. It's just that, I'm showing lots of, remember, the way I trade with you guys is not the way I trade myself. My whole function with trading live with you guys is to offer you lots of different possibilities, show you lots of different executions. What makes me different about live trading is I trade live a lot. I don't shy away from making trades. I don't pussyfy like doing one trade through 1,000 trade copiers, make 1 pip and go, oh, I made 1,000 pips. Okay. I actually make 1,000 pips the real way by actually doing it 1,000 times. So, I want to show you lots of different opportunities. When I'm doing it myself, I'm generally always sticking to the retrace trade. Now, this is a momentum trade. Like, I'm not going to trade this. It's just not my style. But this is a 2 label, very lots of movement over here, and it's clearly a momentum trade, right? Like a really strong momentum trade. I'm going to have to wait on gold to come back up above the moving average and fail. Because remember, I sold it over here. I gave it up way too early. Like, we sold it at 26. We could have gotten a lot more out of it, but I took a quick profit. My biggest weakness always in trading is I always take my profits a little too quickly. All right, so gold, we're watching out of the corner of our eyes. Kind of interested to see what Nasdaq wants to do. Anybody take that gold trade with me? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Now, this poll that we are, GC Wint is 34. Yeah, you're right. Oh, Christoph is actually pointing out a really good point to me. He's saying that the gold width is about 34 basis points. It's kind of a little bit, it's really extended pretty wide at this point, right? So that's okay. I'm like, I still think that because there's 2 components to this thing. There is the width of the moving averages and the length of the trend. The trend is very young. It's only 2nd or 3rd label. So I'm okay thinking that I'd rather fade this. In the meantime, S&P is just churning. You see this? This is just churning up and down. So, my dip to buy the dip actually worked out. But we're really, if you look at this as we're trading, it's going to be a 25-12 trade, meaning if, whichever side clears is probably going to create the trend for the near term. I still think it's going to clear to the downside. Here's gold coming back up above the moving average. I'm going to lay myself out at, there we are, at like 23. And if it blows through, it blows through against me. If it doesn't blow, because I'll get larger. I'm happy to get larger against gold. I think this is a downtrend in the making. So I will, I'll get larger if it blows through my stop at bigger size. But I took a 23, 5. All right, let me see if I can move this up. And keep an eye on S&P and the gold. I mean, gold flushed all the way down to 16, came back up. If it verticalizes, comes back up to 30, I'll be happy to short it. Short it there as well. And you could definitely see Thanksgiving week price action, right? It's very quiet. It's probably going to, honestly, guys, next couple of weeks it'll be this quiet like this. You trading Nasdaq? Nasdaq's moving up, right? Ooh, Nasdaq's really moving up. I'm sorry, you're right. Guys, if you see something on the charts, call it out, guys. Because I'm trying to do a million different things. So I missed the Nasdaq move. The Nasdaq move was actually a really great move. So here's one, 2H over here. Enzo bought this one. I did not buy this one because I was fooling around with gold right now and not really getting it done. But this was a nice, clean Nasdaq break. So you have a 2H. This is the retrace trade. You buy the 75s. Boom. It's like 20 points of profit. It would have been like in 1 minute, you made money. So really worked well. Let's see if this uptrend kind of holds now as a move. You can see the Nasdaq really waving up and down with higher highs so far, right? You're on February gold. What gold am I on? Am I on the old gold? Am I trading old gold, guys? I'm on DEES. Did everybody move over to Feb already? Am I trading old gold? I may be. Let's see. Let's see. GC volume. We can tell. Which contract? No, I think it looks like the DEES volume is. See, this is the front month volume. So total volume, yeah. I think the DEES is still the live contract. Oh, hey, my gold filled while we were looking around at DEES. So here's my gold. Let me show you what I did here, right? Because I hope you guys are going to start falling in love with the retrace trade. So here we go. Let me show you. Because otherwise it just gets insane. Where's my? Oh, sorry, it's this one, MGC. Okay, here we go. So you see this thing? Okay, let me get a little bit larger. So we sold the 23s, right? About 4 or 5 minutes of consolidation, drops like a stone. Boom, 21.6. Nice, clean, 16 ticks to the good. So why do I love a retrace trade? Like think about if I'm trading the momentum trade. I sell over here. I definitely get stopped out on retrace. I may have to average up twice before I get that 23 average, and then I resolve it. Versus on the retrace trade, first entry, boom, like a stone, right? I just get a better fill. Now, the one time where the momentum trade absolutely kills me is if it just keeps going down. Yes, if you have no retraces, you're in great shape. But those price structures are much more rare than these. Sorry, I keep missing now because I'm focusing on a million different things. we could have tried to buy this. There's actually no because the moving averages keep going up and down, up and down, up and down between the 8 and the SMA. We're flipping between fresh cycles and non-fresh cycles. This is actually a fresh cycle, fresh cycle, fresh cycle, because price keeps touching the 200 SMA. So I have to be a little bit patient here on the moves. Nasdaq breaks really high. Nasdaq is now through the 21,000, 3H. If Nasdaq comes down here, it gives me a 3H, a retrace move into the moving average. I'm going to be a buyer of Nasdaq here, because you got to, assuming we don't verticalize at 100 points, in which case Nasdaq is going to go very, very wide. It'll be 30 points or higher on the separation. And at that point, I just have to stand back and wait for some weakness, and then I'm going to be happy to short it. Ninja moved over this morning. What does that mean, Ninja moved over this morning? What does that mean? So we're getting like pretty high levitation. We're almost 30 points wide between the moving averages. Once we get beyond that, I like to look at shorts. But if I see a 3H purple, it means a purple that comes down to the moving average. I want to be a buyer here. All right, now I want to show you. In this case, this is a medium-sized trade, but this is a reversal trade that I love to do, right? If you want to play this game with me a little bit, we'll do it on small size. The reversal trade I love to do is when I get a reversal label over here, like a 2L label, followed by a red label, a momentum label that is higher low. And I want to be buying that 3H. I want to be buying this move here because I think gold might reverse. Now, is it wide enough for it to reverse? Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's a mediocre trade, but let's give it a shot. Where is it? Where are we at? 22, 26, 22. Let me see if I can buy the threes. Okay. All right, I'm in at 3. I bought this dump over here, and let's see if this thing pops. And if it doesn't, I'm happy to try to come in here for like a double bottom retest, because this thing dropped all the way to the 15 and bounced back. I think it's going to hold and double bottom. But this move of reversal label followed by momentum label that is a higher low. You see how this 3H is high? It's above the purple. That's a pattern that repeats itself in so many instruments, so many times a day. And it's a very, very tradable pattern. Not always, but a lot of times it's a very, very tradable pattern. It's a really, really nice pattern to trade. All right, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay, 12 ticks, and we're done. And that was a nice, clean trade, that took over. Now I want to focus on the Nasdaq. I want to be a buyer on this dip. I want to buy this, this 21,000 underneath here. Let me see if I could do it. Ah, shit. All right, 2104 on the MNQ. Oh, right over here. Sorry, we're watching this over here in this trade. Okay. Buy market. Now I'm twice the size here. I'm going to just basically see if I could resolve this trade pretty quickly. Anytime it goes to like above 20 ticks, I'll be able to get out of positive territory. It's it's dropping like a stone, and I got to step into the move here. And there we go. And that was like 25 ticks, and it totally resolved as a trade. When you're trading Nasdaq, it's the most volatile of all of them. You cannot hesitate. You cannot hesitate. I'm happy now to come back again and be a buyer here. Let me see if I can buy market. All right, I'm bought market over here, and I'll explain to you hopefully what I'm doing. And come to Poppy. Okay, so let me explain to you slowly all the sequence of events that I'm doing with this particular trade, okay? Because it's worthwhile for me to go through the anatomy of a Nasdaq trade, which is a very, very different kind of trade than any other trade because it moves at a speed of light. And, you snooze, you lose on Nasdaq trades. But let me kind of show you the methodology and the market. I'm going to get rid of all these trades. I'm going to get rid of all my marks so that I can walk you through this, okay? Let's get a little bit bigger, and let me explain to you my thought pattern. Because when you're trading Nasdaq, this is how you got to be. So nice trade up, right? But we are in kind of danger territory. 25, 26 base points up. It means it could just as easily, turn down as it continue back up, right? It's not like you're not buying it over here. You're buying it over here. You're clearly going to be vulnerable. So you got to be prepared, first of all, for being wrong, right? So I buy it over here. I get stopped out. I instantaneously, the whole thing with Nasdaq is you cannot wait, because very often if you wait, it will race back up and you've lost the opportunity for the second entry. So I buy the second entry, but my instant thought on the second entry is not, oh, I'm going to try to make all my money back. My instant thought is, let me get out of this particular position at a scratch or a mildly positive trade. The reason why is because I don't want to be building a massive position against Nasdaq, 2, 3, 4 times. I'd much rather scratch this trade than go back in over here at one size, at my first initial size, and make all the money back on the first size. Remember, it's always easiest to make money on the first trade, on the first size of the cycle. It's always hardest to make money on the last cycle because you're large size, you have a lot of pressure, you're clearly in a much deeper drawdown. So I try to resolve my mistrades as quickly as I can, and then go right back into it. I go right back into it without hesitation, because then it's just simply trade one, and I can and I have much more flexibility. So this all happened literally within a matter of 30 seconds. And if you did not have a game plan, if you didn't know ahead of time what you were doing, how you were doing it, and what you needed to do to have that executed, you can't do it. That's the key thing that I kind of wanted to, run with you guys. What we do here has far less to do with the signal on the chart, and much, much more to do with what do we do next, right? I talked about this in my London session. I'm going to talk about this with you guys today. They asked Musk, what is a definition of intelligence? And I thought his answer was really interesting. He said, the definition of intelligence is being able to forecast the future, which is a really interesting answer. Because from an evolutionary point of view, the species that can forecast the future best is the one that adapts best to the environment and that wins. The thing that made us as Homo sapiens rule over the whole world is not the fact that we're the strongest or the swiftest or even the quickest. We are none of those things, okay? We have one functional ability in our brain that none of the other mammals or species have, which is the ability to imagine alternative paths. Part of our huge evolution is I don't want to go into I told you, I read in this book, which is really fascinating, called A Brief History of Intelligence, which kind of takes you from monocellular organisms or even pre-life arcana of Earth into unicellular organisms, then into worms, which are the first organisms with neurons, and then eventually to us. And the whole point of what makes us different from all the other animals is our ability to simulate reality, alternative ideas. So one of the things that I'm always doing is playing Monte Carlo simulation. I'm like, if this happens, what am I going to do? If this happens, what am I going to do? Now, I do this already instinctively because obviously it's all part of my process. But when you're trading, especially when you're scalping, if you do not have that structure in your head, all the indicators and everything else are just 50% of the battle. You know, Christoph says he forecasts I'm leaving you in 30 minutes. That's not fair, my friend. That's not fair. It's because I have meetings. It's not fair. But it's actually okay. So Christoph makes this is a very funny, but actually a really, really cool idea. Let's talk about this because he's Christoph is making a forecast which he knows is true, right? So why does he know it's true? Because obviously he's in my room, he trades with me. He knows that I have meetings starting 10:30, that I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice in terms of going, right? Now, when you're trading the market, one of the greatest trades in the world is when the other guy does not have a choice. He does not have a choice to buy or does not have a choice to sell, right? Now, those opportunities are rare, but that is literally where huge amounts of profits are made, right? Ooh, what's going on? We have news. What did we just blow up on the news? Let's look at the news here. What happened to the news? Where are we? New home sales, kind of weak. Consumer confidence. What happened to consumer confidence? What do we do? Oh, 11.7. It's not horrible. Why did this? Oh, new home sales change. Oh, shit. Housing really fell off a cliff. Wow. That's not good. I told you, I think we go down. I think we go down. It's interesting. We can watch this a little bit more here because this is definitely interesting. Let's see how the S&P is looking too. That's a big move on the downside. I think we're starting to break to the downside. We'll see. Obviously, I'm going to let the market tell me. But anyways, my point being is like when the other party that you're trading against has no choice. Let's say they have to liquidate because it's the end of the quarter. Or a good example of this right now is MicroStrategy constantly has to buy Bitcoin because he's actually selling money to be able to buy Bitcoin. So there's like an underlying demand for Bitcoin. So if you're trading Bitcoin like you do with me in London, you know that buying a dip is almost a guaranteed profit in Bitcoin right now because there is a guy on the other end of it who does not have a choice but to be a buyer, right? So that's rare. I'm not forecasting the future. What I'm saying is you can forecast the future better in some cases versus others if you know the other person has no choice. My friend Bob Pisani, who works for CNBC, has a term for it. I used to call it non-market sensitive seller or non-market sensitive buyer, meaning that it doesn't matter what the price is I got to be buying. It doesn't matter what the price I got to be selling. When you get in those positions, that's when you have a tremendous edge in terms of forecasting where price is going to go, right? So that's it's an interesting point. I mean, Christoph is basically handicapping my schedule because he knows my schedule. So that's actually a really good bet. Like that's a bet that's probably going to pay out almost 100% of the time that I'm going to leave at 10:30 because he knows I got a meeting. There are rare those bets that pay off 100% of the time in the market are rare, but they come up a few times. So just my point is that you're always forecasting the future one way or the other. I'm basically trying with my sequences here is not just to forecast the immediate, not just to forecast the first step, but the second step, the third step, and the fourth step, right? I'm trying to trade 4 or 5 steps ahead of time so that I give myself the greatest chance of overall success. ES is looking flat right now. We got nothing going on here. ES is looking flat. We got to see how this little flip kind of resolves itself. ES really is not a trade to the upside till we clear the 25s. If we start, if the trend now starts to take itself up back up above 25, then you have a really strong trend. Otherwise, we start breaking down. I think we have every reasonable chance to break 6,000, right? So we're sort of in the no man's land right now. Where's gold? Okay, so let's play the game of me not winning, right? I won this gold trade, the MGCs. I won the gold trade, right? Over here, where I bought the 22 threes, I sold the 23 sixes over here, right? But let's imagine that I didn't win this trade. Let's say I got stopped out. I'm long 22 threes, and the thing drops 2 points to 20.3, right? Because I am always thinking a step ahead, I'm coming in again, size over here. So level 2, boom, I resolve it over here. Because this pattern as I'm looking at is going to do one of two things, or one of three things. Let me show you. This is why this pattern is just so amazing. Okay, so the pattern is this: you got super low over here. You got a red momentum low, momentum sell signal, but it doesn't break this low, right? So then, great, you're a buyer over here. So what happens next? Two things can happen. You can drift all the way down here and test your double bottom, right? You can pop back up, which is exactly what I did, or you could drift a little bit and then come back up. In any one of those cases, eventually, if I stick to my plan, I'm going to be able to resolve this position favorably. There's only one possibility where I really could get in huge trouble, is if there's somehow a secondary wave. Maybe there's news on the wire or something else, and you have to be prepared for that, and you have to have an emergency exit. So if I'm wrong on four positions in a row, I just stop trading it. I'll just eat my losses. Like where it just simply goes down, 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 because there's some kind of emergency piece of news that I did not comprehend. I didn't get a chance to resolve it. But most of the time, 3 out of 4 scenarios in this particular condition, I'm going to be winning. But that's because I already know how this price action looks. I've seen it before, and that's why I trade it. You see how cool it is? Gold is nothing. I mean, just sort of, gold is making. Here's the thing about gold where I'm not ready to call a reversal yet. This is a 4L. This is a 4L, meaning lower. It's still showing you that there's still some downside movements. Now, this is actually popping back up, which is nice to see. But until I get a 4H or a 5H, until I get a higher low out of this whole thing, I don't really have any confidence that gold is a full turn trade, right? On the other hand, look at the S&P. S&P is starting to come back down. Now, S&P, guys, this is it. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna go out a little bit on the limb here. This move through the moving average above, I want to be a seller because I'm pretty convinced we're now in the sell zone. We're at 3, 4, 5 basis points wide. The blue is below the green. We're starting to separate. I want to be a seller, right? I really, really want to be a seller here. But unfortunately, now it's starting to dump. But I'm pretty confident that this is going to be this trade is going to resolve itself. The housing data was kind of crappy. Market is really, really overbought. We're ripe for a little profit taking. Everybody is long above 6,000, and there's a bunch of stops they want to run through the 6,000 today. So they're going to try and run this. So my only job is to try to see if I can get a good entry price on this thing into the move. And sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can. Sometimes I can't. I got a few minutes here, so let's see if my thesis plays out. By the way, how impressed is everybody that I did not fight the market at the beginning of the market open, ate my losses, and then I recovered everything back, and now I'm net positive since I started talking to you guys. That is definitely a new Boris. That is not the old Boris that fights it. Was that John Mellencamp song? I fight authority. Authority always wins. All right, I'm watching to see if I can pop this above. This is like, Jesus, S&P, what a useless trade it is today. Just so little direction here. I'm gonna lay out I'm gonna lay out at 19 and just see if it can if it can lift me over there. Roger says he likes the old Boris. Yeah, I kind of do too. But we all have to grow up sometimes, Roger, right? I'm trying to see if this thing will trade its way back up over the moving average to give me into a trade. Anyways, are you guys vibing the thought process? I really don't have an intelligent description for what I do, but it's basically the idea of having the plan for the next trade and next trade and next trade. We need a catchy title for all of that, as far as what this is all about. Now you see the S&P starting to really come down. I'm just gonna have to be super patient now. Not my stock and trade. By the way, those of you guys who love trade momentum, you can always trade off of my momentum calls. Gold has a high label. Okay, I'm I'm so hunting the S&P that I almost don't care about the gold. But let's see what does gold have here. Yeah, it's probably a pretty good buy here. It's probably a pretty good buy. I just I got to go, so I don't want to manage two trades. It was probably buying the gold over here at 23 was not a bad idea, but it's okay. S&P is just like a slow Chinese water torture drip to the downside without giving us any chance to come in. Man, it's so slow today, guys. It's not even worth trading. You took a short off the signal green. Where's my NAS? You took it on the 5H. Well, because you did a like a momentum trade. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, you did a good momentum trade, right? Although it should be 5L, frankly, not 5H, right? Because you're looking for should have been the 4L. The 4L was the short, but it would have stopped you out. You would have to come back again. Because what you're looking for is you're looking for the L's above on a reversal trade and H's below. All right, here's the S&P. Let's see if it can crawl itself back up above the 3L. What is this? All right, I'm putting myself up at 1625 over here. It's a very, very lame ass little trade, but let's see if this works. I didn't want to, it didn't really come up against the moving average. I rushed the trade because I was just so annoyed at not having been able to get the 19. But I'll get larger here. I'll get larger here. I don't have any problems with this thing. I think we're still net negative biased here. Okay. All right, I'm in at 17. I wanted originally to be at 19, remember? So I was like, really, I'm building a position at a very weak position because I'm just frustrated that I couldn't get the retraces here. So this is a 6L, kind of an interesting trade here to the downside. You could take this as a short. My only real problem with this being a short is it's the moving averages are above and it's compressed, so it could really go high, go up high against here. I'm gonna have to leave you guys in a few minutes. I'm gonna have to resolve this without you guys, but you get the idea. Come on, baby. All right, never mind. I resolved it with you guys. So that trade got done, badly done, and not badly done, but just I was frustrated. The trade should have been here, so it took me two tries to kind of resolve it. But it was good enough. By the way, this actually did work, right? So my only fear, the thing that I don't like about trading Nasdaq is when these things are compressed to the downside like this, the potential for a V shape is pretty strong. But if you're relatively confident there's going to be a downward trend, this was a great short. The 6L was a great short over here as a short. Okay, so every trade got done. I managed to resolve everything positively with you guys. Keep in mind that the key thing here is what's the next move? That's really what it's all about. Scalping is all about asking what's the next move, not about what I'm doing currently. If you have the answer to that, then you have a much stronger superpower in terms of trading. Oh, sorry. Okay, guys, I want to thank you very much for hanging out with me. I will see everybody. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Make sure. Let me give you all the links. If you want the links to my friends at 8cap, over here. And if you want the links to my friends at Apex, please get them here. Those of you who are interested in trading futures, have never traded them before, by far the single best way of learning this is on a prop basis. You get to trade real markets without having to put up your own capital. And if you're making progress like I do, you're going to get these accounts funded. I have a lot of accounts funded already, but we're trying to specifically make a run at a $250,000 account funded, which is a much longer, bigger challenge at these small sizes. So it may take us all the way till Christmas to do it, but I'm game for the challenge. I'm up for the challenge. Thanks, guys. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see everybody tomorrow.